Hey, Ute fans, you're watching The Extra Point, brought to you by Public Coffee and presented by UteFans.net, the original home for Ute fans. Please check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, or iHeartRadio, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. UCLA stumbles, Oregon stumbles, Utah wins big against Stanford 42-7. What do you guys think?
It was a delicious day of football for Utah fans and the Utah football team. I dare say it rivals the deliciousness of Public Ed's hamburgers that you can only enjoy in this location in the shadow of Utah's in the President's Circle. But we saw defense. Utah stepped up. We saw people play what they needed to do. They got the job done. And, of course, Oregon stumbling and UCLA stumbling helps us in the long run. It was a great day to be a Ute.
I think all roads, really lead to Pasadena at this point if Utah can take care of business. Just like we've been talking about, everything outside of the playoff is still well within reach. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the year. But Utah did what they needed to do. The slow start it is what it is, 7-0. But aside from that and the interception in the red zone, a really, really clean football game. Ran the football well. Cam threw 3 touchdowns, I believe. Defense played well, aside from, I guess, not creating a turnover. But, when you hold a team to 22 yards rushing, that you don't need to create a turnover.
Stanford had 1 rushing yard from the beginning of the second quarter to midway through the third.
Yeah. I think they had 9 first downs. I think Utah had 29. I think they had 9 first downs. Utah did a good job on third down. Stanford did not. It's a 42-0 for 3 quarters.
Right.
That's about as dominant as you can get, and continuing the flow of just winning big, really.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is we're so banged up. We've faced some adversity this season that way, but this team plays with so much heart. They're just fun to watch.
Look who fills in. Kincaid's a little banged up. Keithy's out. Yasmin scores a touchdown. Kendall scores a touchdown. The depth is there. Money Parks, aside from the 1 drop, had a nice night. Vele had another great night.
He looks great as usual.
Get that guy the ball.
Yeah. He's our
big
jump ball guy.
Talk about catch radius. Put it anywhere near that guy.
He's incredible. And then we have to give a shout-out to Mr. Tavion Thomas.
Yep.
Career night for him, 180 yards on the ground on 22 carries. It's been nice to see him on the field.
Yeah.
And he's a heck of a runner, one of the best downhill runners we've ever seen. We've ever seen at Utah.
I put him up there with Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala as being one of the most punishing downhill runners in Utah history.
That big Ma'afala. Other than that, Tavion, every time he touches it, I feel like, and he gets up, it's almost he almost break pops it every time.
He's fun to watch. He's one of my favorite running backs I think I've ever seen at Utah.
Well, and his yards get better as the game progresses. You look at his 1st and 10 carries, he averages 6 yards per carry on 1st and 10. You look in the 4th quarter, his longest runs come in the 1st and the 4th quarter. Yeah. So he is just a workhorse that doesn't get tired. They keep feeding him the ball and good things happen.
They build. Then you get Tavion downhill coming at you. Also, Bernard had a nice night.
He did.
In the backfield. Mm-hmm. Very, very catchable. Very, very good catcher out of the backfield. Makes plays.
We've got a lot of weapons, and something you said last week, Jordan, about our front 7 not being our strong point.
Yeah.
And I was watching us at Rice Eccles last night, and I thought, man, they're still getting the job done.
They did.
They still get the job done. They're not what we're used to.
Correct.
But they make the plays to win the games.
Yeah. No, they did a nice job last night. Doing what they needed to do. They really made Stanford one-dimensional the entire second half. I don't think Stanford's going to win a lot of football games having to throw that many times.
No.
Playing from behind, that's just not their cup of tea. But, no, the defense looked good. Offense performed well. We had a fake punt early in the game that ended up resulting in not anything. But all phases, it was a very clean game. What you want?
How about Nate Johnson? I just have to throw that name out there. I watched him at Elite 11 the other year. He's a heck of an athlete. He is fast.
Yep.
Holy cow, that guy is fast. But he's a player, and he's fun to watch, and looks like he might have a bright future with the Utes. What do you think, Cal?
I think everyone has a bright future with the Utes. That's why they should come here.
Everybody.
But I'm not going to debate that at all. I have my preferred play styles for certain positions. His makes me nervous for that position, but you know what? It's just because I don't want to see injury hinder that trap word potential. But the future looks bright. And I think that we finally turned the corner in the last couple of years as a program from good to great program because the people that have been recruited to come in and replenish the depleted roster from graduation and draft are believing that they're going to get the call immediately.
Yeah.
And it could come at any second. Yep. So normally in a program, you have your starters and you have people that matriculate through the system. And now they're a senior or a junior. They're just the next on the roster. They inherit the position. We now have a program where they battle for a position week in and week out. Yep. Nothing is guaranteed and nothing is given. And that is the culture that cultivates this next man up mentality and has proven to be our success this season and last season. It's not surprising that next man up is so successful when everybody buys in and everybody's ready for their number to be picked versus that one kid that goes in and has no idea what's going on in the playbook or the flow of the game because they haven't gotten any exposure.
You know, thinking about last year, we lost to Oregon State. It was a tough loss on the road. We dealt with a lot of adversity. Didn't think we were headed anywhere, and then we were playing in Pasadena in one of the most classic Rose Bowls to ever happen. And this year, we're coming into this Oregon game next week, and we'll preview them later. But you know, they should be scared. You know, and I think that we're in a great position. And think about how we felt after the UCLA loss,
right,
and how this team responded. And that's the culture. That's good coaching. That's good mentoring. You know, so hats off to the staff, you know, and to the players with the University of Utah.
It's a good job, and Coach Witt's always been a huge proponent of this. It's just blocking out the noise, you know. At the end of the day, what really matters is the people that are in the building. And like you mentioned, Andy, you know, what happened last year is you know, somewhat similar to what's happening this year. I think a lot of people were disappointed. I wouldn't say necessarily jumping off the ship, but certainly you lose to Oregon State, it's your third loss. Everybody's kind of wondering what's going on. Similar to this year, you stumble at home, on the road in the opener. You lose to UCLA. Everybody's like, "Oh boy, here we go again," and we're still sitting here in the same exact position as we have been the last 2 years. You know,
we've established ourselves as maintaining the driver's seat. I mean, I relate it to like an NFL quarterback going in for a fourth quarter comeback.
Yeah.
And they throw up the stat that says X amount of fourth quarter comebacks orchestrated in their career. There comes a point when you hit a number that you start to think, oh, this comeback will happen.
Yeah.
The Brett Favre, the Tom Brady's, those goats, you know, that come back.
Yep.
When they take the field, you start to believe more so than not they're going to be successful.
Right.
I have a feeling our team, our organization, has ascended to that level. Yeah. That even though we weren't in the driver's seat, or it didn't feel like it, and we lost the target on our back in the conference, we still maintained being in the driver's seat and controlling our own destiny. And they do that by focusing on where their feet are at and one game at a time.
Yeah, I would just say don't get complacent to anyone, and us included as fans, with a Rose Bowl berth. I would have done anything to get a chance to play in the Rose Bowl. And I think it's, you know, the way the playoff is structured now, obviously everybody wants to go to the playoff, but man, to get a chance, you know, you win out, you know, who knows what happens with the playoff, but you went out, you go to the Rose Bowl and play probably Michigan or Ohio State. That, I mean,
yeah.
What more could you want? I get it. I get it, but that's incredible.
There's a reason they call it the granddaddy of them all.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. And there's a reason why they call it.
that old.
And there's a reason why they call them fanatics.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I love where the program's at. I'm thrilled to be a part of it. They got to take care of business, obviously. They still have 2 weeks to go, but man, we're trending in the right direction in November. Right where we need to be.
Man, it's better than the no-win Novembers that we experienced.
Remember that? That was
Fans
for a long time.
Yeah.
It was no-win November. We couldn't get over that hump, and now we're rolling.
We're rolling. We're rolling. So we'll be right back, Ute fans. Stay tuned.
Hey, Ute fans, Cal Beck here once again, reminding you that when you are looking for the best coffee, mint limeade, or a burger with onion IPA jam, then you'll have to look no further than the famous and popular Public Coffee House in the shadow of President's Circle, where their in-house concoctions and food never disappoint rookies or veterans alike. Go Utes.
Hey, Ute fans, welcome back, and we're joined by Mr. Tavion Thomas.
So with it, man.
So good to have you on, Tavion. We're very grateful to you for your contributions to the Utah Utes football team. You're a warrior, and we haven't seen as much of you as we would have liked this season, but heck of a game last night, career high, 180 yards on 22 carries. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling today about that?
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm feeling it's a blessing, but you know my whole main thing was to just be out there with the guys, man. Just celebrate with them, man. Just to be back on the field, which is good energy out there. I have my kids out there, so that was just an extra boost, and the fans, they embraced me, man. It was just good vibes, good energy in the stadium last night, man. So I couldn't do it without them boys, man. So yeah, it was lit. Man.
Do you even notice that other players celebrate when they tackle you for 2 yards or less?
Oh, no, I don't be looking at that. Hey, I'll be hearing them, they're like, yeah, I got you. I'm like, man, come on, man. I'll be mad, though, man. I can't get tackled like that.
Yeah.
Just the one little arm tackle, I got to break out of that. So, you ain't going to be talking about that no more. You ain't going to be celebrating no more.
Talk about Tavion, obviously, what it's been like up here at Utah, what your experience has been like. Coming into the program and, obviously, depending on what happens in the future, what that would look like. But what it's been like to play here in the program?
What it's been like playing here at Utah, I had my up and downs.
Yeah.
But overall, it's good. Like Coach Winningham and, the stat, they gave me an opportunity to play the game that I love.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could have been, somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's been great. It teaches me a lot of lessons. Hard lessons, good lessons. I'm just, like I said, I'm just thankful just to be here.
Yeah.
And got great people around me. So.
We had a conversation before we started shooting today about the GOAT, Tavion Thomas, 21 touchdowns last season. It's the most in a single season for a Ute ever. So how does that feel to be the GOAT of touchdown carries in a season?
I ain't gonna lie, I feel good, man. It feel good, but like I said, I couldn't. I always got to give the credit to my, all linemen and stuff, and my teammates. Like I couldn't do it by myself. But actually, it feel good because I never saw this coming. Kid coming from Dayton, Ohio, and the small city I'm from. It's just it's kind of hard to see a big picture, and when that happened. It was just amazing, man. You thank God every day for, where you at. And, man, I'm just trying to keep going, too. I can't go no more.
I got a question really quick. You wanted to play at Ohio State originally, right?
Well, not Ohio State, Oklahoma.
Oh,
I was coming
really?
to Oklahoma.
Okay.
And Ohio State came in when, the last minute of my high school recruiting class when I was about to go JUCO, so they wanted me to go JUCO actually. Then
For a year, and then go to Ohio State.
Yeah, so I wasn't having that. I'm like, nah, I'm trying to, go straight to, 4 years. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So how'd you end up at Utah? Tell us a little bit about that.
So I was originally at Cincinnati University. I entered the transfer portal. So then I went to Independence Community College. So Zach Moss and I reached out to Zach Moss, Tyler Huntley, and they showed them guys my film, but they was full. That's when they had Ty Jordan. They was full in the running back room. So, cause we hit you back when we get a spot, whatever. So, actually, I was gonna go to UAB.
Okay.
So that I ain't get out of big schools.
Alabama, Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alabama. Yeah. I'm like, I can't do that. You nah. I ain't gonna bash them though, but yeah. So Coach Mack, man, he came recruited me at Independence Community College, and man, just went from there. I ain't care who was there. I'm like, man, I just want to play Power 5. I ain't gonna lie, I want to just go, be all in, just better myself. So I ain't really. That's what led me here, man.
I'm glad to have you, Cal.
Yeah, very glad that you're here.
Awesome.
And continuing with the GOAT theme, because you are one of the greatest to carry the ball in a Ute uniform. You're a third all-time in the TDs list for a career here at Utah, and possibly the all-time most yards per carry, maybe rivaled by Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala. You are a very punishing runner. You run downhill. Is there any specific running back that you've emulated your game after?
I ain't gonna lie, I watch a few backs, but I mess with Dick Herring, the Nick Chubbs, I ain't gonna lie, see, I still, you gotta give respect to Le'Veon Bell. Feel me? 'Cause I like his style. I try to emulate that.
Okay.
Zeke, them type of guys, Leonard Fournette, them type of guys right there, I'll try to emulate my game after,
Are the Dunbar Wolverines the GOAT high school team in Dayton?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Come on, huh?
Yeah. No good, you feel me? They know what's going on in the city.
And I noticed you have the 937 tatted on your calf.
Oh,
That's
no.
the area code for Dayton.
Yes, sir.
right?
Got to rep the
So-
city. Yeah.
What would you tell a young Dunbar running back that says, I want to be where you're at? What advice would you give that child?
I want to say, man, just bet on yourself. Don't give up, man. Just keep working. Even when the times get hard, you might not see it through. You know, God has a plan for you. You know, it's just, and I want to say just, you know, just be good to your peoples, like people around you and stuff like that. And just, man, just know, like I said, just know God got a plan for you, and, you know, miracles could happen, you know. And, yeah, I'll probably say that.
And you got your criminology degree?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you have any plans to further that? What would you pursue with that criminal? I was a minor in crim, so I appreciate that focus.
Okay.
What do you, anything you would like to pursue in the future with that?
I ain't gonna lie. So when I was going into it, I say like after football, I probably want to go. I just want to go talk to like kids in juvenile, just you know, talk to kids in my community, urban areas, stuff like that. I just want to give back to the community. But I really want to have my training facility, and I can't tell y'all all what I want to have in it because some people might steal ideas. You feel me? Nah, but it's a couple things I want to do. Like I said, I always been like I want to give back and I want to help kids, like autism, like different things. So I want to have a training facility. 'Cause, like I said, I love the game. I just want to be around the game and just doing something. I always, keep myself right. I probably, just that, to have my own training facility and stuff like that.
And you've got 3 sons.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Were you surprised at the family culture feeling at Utah when you got here? Because there's different players, different ages. Some are married, some have families, some are 18 and young, right off the bus from hometown. Were you surprised by that family home culture feeling here at the U?
I kind of wasn't surprised, but I was surprised that people was getting married.
Welcome to Utah. Welcome to Utah.
So young, I'm like, hold on. But that's the only thing I was really surprised about. I was surprised. I ain't gonna lie, I was surprised about the fan base and all that because I never really had that. So all that stuff was kind of really new. I'm like, wow, this is really how it is.
Yeah.
Like, and shit, yeah, that's probably what it is.
Well, when your boys get old enough to stalk you on the internet and they start to Google search you and they pour through your experiences coming from Dunbar to Cincy to community college to here, they're going to be extremely proud of your perseverance and your grit that you've displayed. And I hope that you can instill an inkling of that in your kids because the world would be their oyster at that because you seem to be the type of personality that when you see something, you put your mind to it, you get it.
Gotta go get it.
You run hard downhill. You run through people.
Sure.
Do you get a bigger thrill on tackling people, like on kickoff,
Man,
or
last
running
week,
through
last
people?
week.
You were
last
hyped.
week-
You were
yes.
hyped. You were hyped on that tackle.
I ain't gonna lie, I love to. See, I just love to hit. I just love to. You feel me? I just love to.
So
get
you welcome the contact.
Yeah,
You love it.
I like it. And it brought me back to my defensive day because I started off at DN.
Okay.
Okay.
DN linebacker. If people didn't know, I really started playing running back. I want to say, going into my junior year, fully running back in high school. But yeah, I started at linebacker in DN, but I just love it. I don't know, and I see them boys out there juice, so I'm ready to go with y'all. I see them boys heading out there, so yeah, man, I like heading though, so I'll probably say that. I ain't gonna lie.
I only got a couple more for Dunbar Goat. Being from Ohio, LeBron or Jordan? And I've seen you rock some Jordan gear.
Yeah, but you know who.
Whoa, what does that mean?
Come on, man. LeBron James, man.
Yeah.
LeBron, you know what's coming, man.
I got 6 reasons right now why LeBron isn't the GOAT. Just saying.
man.
Just saying.
Give me a couple.
91 bowls, 92 bowls, 93.
1 3-peat, 2 3-peat.
He coming though. He coming for it. Lamar, you coming for it? I know.
Who's the GOAT running back?
Well, like right now, like
All time.
All time.
All
Who do
time
you
GOAT
think?
running back
all
professional.
time.
Yep.
So we talking back in the day too.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody.
Oh, yeah.
When I say the
Anybody.
best running back in history,
Ever.
who pops in your head?
Ever.
Best running back in history. That's kind of. I ain't gonna lie, that's hard because I like a lot of different.
It's a
type
loaded
of
question.
Yeah,
You
that's-
talking power, you talking speed,
Yeah,
impact.
like
Barry.
me, I like
Walter.
bigger type of backs. So
Sweetness.
That's mine. It's
Man, Walter
Walter
Payton.
is-
Walter Payton's tough.
yeah, he was. I was going,
Yeah.
See, I just watched Walter, Bo Jackson, like all them.
Man,
boys.
Bo was
Yeah.
incredible.
let's not even talk about Bo.
Bo
'cause
is
that's just
Bo's the best athlete maybe ever walked the earth.
Barry,
Probably ever, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Barry
ever
was
walked the earth.
cold, too.
Yeah.
He was shifty.
Yeah.
I ain't like that. I can't, man. It's hard.
I wish he
I
was running
kind of got to put Derrick Henry in that. You feel me?
Henry. Derrick
gotta-
Henry.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of I like the old backs, Walter Payton. Though. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of a hard question.
Yeah.
The last question I've got for you, sir, after expressing our gratitude and appreciation for all you've done for the program, all you've done for your teammates, you said this last season has been nothing short of a blessing. After talking with my family, I've decided to return for the 2022 season. I have unfinished business here in Utah. It's important to me that I get my degree, check, and show kids where I'm from that it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, you can do anything you put your mind to.
Fact.
Check. I love this city. I love the fans, and I'm looking forward to putting on the red and white for one more year. Go Utes, put God first, bet on yourself. Tavion Thomas.
Feel me?
If you could go back and talk to yourself when you wrote this, what one piece of advice would you give yourself?
To myself, I probably within myself, I'll probably say just just try to take it day by day. Just keep your head right. And I really checked out the boxes, so I really feel like I would have probably said the same thing, honestly.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like you should go chase out your dream. Don't let nobody tell you different. Like I said, you might go through some hardships and, some obstacles and stuff like that. So you just got to just overcome them and just keep pushing, keep fighting. If you see what I went through, and I know a couple people, everybody got a story. And what motivated me, I hear other people's story. It made me feel like, man, come on, this ain't really too bad. You got to go.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like my mom, stuff like that, she been through way, not to get off topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just seen, my lady go through so much stuff, so it put me in the mindset like, man, like, you gotta push through whatever. You can push through whatever. You seen her do all that. Feel me? I ain't gonna tell all the detail, but you seen her go through all that. So I probably would have said the same thing, man, to the young kids out there, man, 'cause I know people like me. Or, you know what I'm saying, just the same, I ain't gonna say like me, or just the same, going through the same things. I just wanna let y'all know y'all could get past that. It might be hard, but y'all gonna be straight, man. God got a plan for y'all. And, stay true to yourself, man.
There's a common saying in education that we tell kids, and it's, if you live in the future, it will cause anxiety. If you live in the past, it causes depression and resentment. Live today. Live where your feet are. It's a gift. That's why it's called the present. Does that kind of sound like on the lines of what you're saying? Is just handle what's in front of you, and the rest will take care of itself.
Exactly. You said it. Best words. You said it. Hey, because sometimes you get to, thinking far ahead, and that stuff could overwhelm you. It could, put a whole toll on your body, and everything get to messing up. But if you think about that day and just control what you can control, everything be smooth for you.
Last question.
I got one.
Okay.
I'm jumping in.
You go.
Off topic. You like to run downhill, obviously.
No,
So
for
you
sure.
You want to get physical. Do you like, out of the three, inside zone, power, or counter? What's your favorite run?
I ain't gonna lie. See, I'm a gap scheme. I like counter and stuff
Counter.
like that. Yeah, counter.
I like counter.
Yeah, counter, inside.
counter.
I like inside zone too. Out of gun. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I like
Now,
that.
for the
Spread 'em
people
out.
at home, inside zone,
We're going to have to chalk talk this next week. But you got, like he said, gap schemes where offensive linemen are blocking back with polar zone. You just got zone. Everybody's going to a zone A lot of double teams set up.
In power, you have lead blockers.
Power and counter. Power and counter. You are downhill, though.
Yep.
Good luck with number 9 coming at you downhill.
Last question I got.
Man, good luck.
Get out the way.
Get out of the way.
You better get your shuffle on. Go home meal.
You said go home meal?
Yep. Your favorite home meal.
See, me ain't gonna lie, man. I'm a taco salad type of guy. Hey,
I did not see that coming.
I ain't gonna lie, like that. If people know, it made me come. It's the reason why I like taco salad. You feel me?
Okay.
So like, make me a taco salad. I'm good.
Okay.
But if we talking like four course.
Yeah. Hey man, you want Tavion? Make the man a taco salad.
You feel me?
There.
If we talk,
Taco time is a jump on this NIL deal.
You heard it here first.
yeah,
Taco
I love
salad.
tacos, man.
Tavion's taco salad.
Done.
Man.
It sells itself.
Yeah.
Where the chips crunch like linebackers when they get ran over.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, that's
That's
funny.
it.
I got you.
I like
Man,
that one.
there it is.
Nah, but yeah. But if we talk a 4-course meal, you know, I like, chicken, mac and cheese. You know, you gotta have the mashed potatoes, corn. A little
Good
meal
thing
like
Thanksgiving's coming up.
Yep.
now.
that. Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
There
Thanksgiving.
you go.
Hey,
There we
he's
go.
just lit up.
Hey, you got some good stuff, and I'm coming. Coming. Yes, sir.
Well, Tavion, it's such a privilege to have you on. I just want you to know we love you. Ute fans loves you. The fan base loves you. Your teammates love you. We're all behind you, and we want to see you succeed no matter what. And congratulations on 180 yards last night, and we're looking for 200 next week, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the one we want, man.
There
want
we
them
go.
boys.
There we go.
Pluck the ducks.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tavion, and we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back to the show. We've got former Poinsettia Bowl MVP Jordan Wynn biting into one of Public Ed's fabulous breakfast burritos. Jordan, what do you think of it?
Man, that is really good. I would highly recommend you stop by this week and get the breakfast burrito. Fantastic.
And that breakfast burrito comes with egg, cheese, avocado, salsa, bacon or sausage, and their famous tots. And,
So good.
And Cal, how is that burger?
I hate to disappoint you, Jordan, but you got cheated on this deal. The burger is fantabulous. It's so good I have to make up words. I asked last week where the beef is. It's in my hand and in my digestive tract at this point.
Yep.
You will not be disappointed.
And that's a killer burger. I've had it myself. Lettuce, tomato, IPA jam, which really makes it. Cheese and a special sauce. So come by Public Ed's and try their food. It's amazing. And don't forget about their coffee. Welcome back, Ute fans, to the Extra Point. I'm joined by Freedom Bowl MVP Cal Beck and Poinsettia Bowl MVP Jordan Wynn. Cal, you have something to say about basketball?
Yes, I do. Men's basketball, 2-0. They play tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Women's basketball, 2-0. They actually play tonight, 7 o'clock in the Huntsman. And we neglected to mention last weekend that the MUS was awarded during last week's game the #1 student section in the country. And we all knew that, but it's nice to get that national recognition. So thank you very much, MUS. We couldn't do it without you. And then finally, the women's cross country team had 4 top 20 finishes at the Rocky Mountain Championships. #7 finisher going to Emily, Coach Emily, who is an assistant coach on my track club. So thank you very much, other Utes, basketball and cross country, for keeping the Utes running, and keep going.
Get out there and support the other programs.
Yes.
What a 4-0 between the two basketballs. That's incredible.
So let's talk about Jordan Wynn's favorite team with his favorite quarterback, the Oregon
Oh,
Ducks.
Knicks.
Oregon Ducks, offensive powerhouse. They're a great team. Their defense is Swiss cheese, as far as I'm concerned, but it should be a good matchup. Probably a high-scoring game coming up this next week. It's going to be a late-night game up in Autzen Stadium, a tough place to play.
Yeah, not to get too cheesy here, but are we facing a wounded duck? After they
That was good.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you like that?
I
I just
I
thought of
like
that. I just thought of that
Yeah,
right now.
I can tell.
Yeah. No. Look, who are you going to get? Obviously, after a loss is always interesting. They get a chance to stay at home in Autzen, which is a tough place to play. It's incredibly loud, usually a little bit wet due to the Pacific Northwest rain. But you hit it on the head. I mean, Bo Nix is a very capable quarterback. He's done a nice job this year. Throws the ball well. The thing to watch, the key to the game, we've talked about it, Cal. They got to contain him. It's Florida, UCLA. Here's your third chance. Here's your third chance Utah defense against a very mobile quarterback. Let's see what happens. You handle that. I feel good about the Utes. Their ability to run the football, take care of the football, possess the football, all those good things that Kyle talks about. Contain Bo Nix, and I think, we're going back to Vegas.
Nix continues to elongate plays.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, Florida, UCLA flashbacks. If our DNs can contain Nix, keep him in the pocket, and not allow him to extend plays and scramble for first downs, things are going to be extremely in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
You put Phillips on Franklin, their number one wide receiver, he will lock him down. So then it's going to come down to role responsibility and not letting Nix get out of the pocket and extending the play. We saw that in Florida. We saw it at UCLA. With the rotation we now have at defensive line, I have a feeling that it's going to be a fresh rotation. They're going to have fresh legs, not let anybody get any tired. And then our offense is just going to straight run the ball downhill, run through that defense, try to get the ball last possession of the game.
Yeah.
Our defense steps up and creates turnovers. We walk away. We widen the gap.
Yep.
But they are a high-powered offense. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. But if our defense plays solid on the ends, at the D ends, and keeps the quarterback in the pocket, they'll have nothing to do but duck and cover.
It'd be interesting, too. I don't know if you guys have seen the rumors about their head guy potentially going to Auburn. I don't know if you've seen any of those. But you start to let things play games a little bit. You lose at home in conference. Here, you start to hear that your head guy might be leaving after 1 year. That's what I'm saying. It'll be interesting to see what team you get. But we'll know, barring something tragic, who's going to Vegas after next Saturday. SC plays UCLA. We play Oregon. The two winners will be on a collision course. I mean, that's
going to determine.
Like I said, barring something completely catastrophic, we'll know exactly who's going to be there. And
I like our chances.
Yeah, I do too.
We're on a hot streak here. We're playing really well, even with the injuries. They're coming off a tough loss against good Washington team.
Yeah.
But I think we're on a roll here, and we have a good shot against this Oregon team.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be through the woods yet. But that's obviously we got to win that game.
Yep.
So
Starts there.
with that said, it is that special time.
Everybody's favorite time.
That special
My
time.
favorite time.
It's time for Stump the Utes. We've got Miss Leslie Oberg here.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on, Leslie.
Hi, guys.
We may or may not have had her brother on fairly recently for the same segment. But, stump us, really. We want you to. Make it hard for us.
Oh, gosh. I believe it was 2005. Playing at BYU,
That's right.
and Brian Johnson was injured.
Right.
Who was the quarterback that won that game?
Well, that would be Brett Ratliff.
Yeah, I knew that one. I actually talked to Brett the week my freshman year going into that game about just what it would be like, and he had some great advice. And growing up in California, that game is just, you don't know a lot about it.
The Holy War.
No,
Yeah,
you
no,
really
people
don't.
don't care
You
in
don't know. You
California.
don't understand the just hatred, frankly,
Right.
in that rivalry. But
I still get nauseous driving through Utah County.
they don't like me down in Happy
That-
Valley. Not so Happy Valley.
I'm glad you mentioned that game. I went to overtime.
Yes.
But Ratliff came out of nowhere, and I remember watching that game with my father, and we were like, "Whoa, like this guy's pretty good," you know. And we win a big game against. I think that was the first year that Bronco Mendenhall was the coach, and same with Kyle Whittingham.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
okay.
It was.
Great question.
Great question. Next question.
Oh, Boy, that's a tough one. I'm sorry, I wasn't that prepared. I was going to answer the question that wasn't answered a few weeks back.
I was just going to ask you that, the Crimson Line.
It was the dance line that was previous to the Crimson Line. They were called the Utanas. And the big scandal is their costumes were rather scant. There was a lot of flesh hanging out. And feathers. They wore feathers. That was not a good impression to the Ute tribe.
I remember sitting at a Y game in Rice. We were playing the TDS, and the Cougar fans yelling, catcalling the girls because
Yes.
of their attire. And I was young enough to not really understand. I thought they were just, but now that you've made that makes total sense. They were yelling stuff like, "You know all about that, Utah." And I'm like, well, that's not really a bad thing, but if you need to heckle,
Yeah.
I guess that's.
Oh, yeah.
So
Did you
makes
pour
sense.
beer on him?
They were, but they were.
I
behind
would
me.
have
Oh,
just for everybody watching.
so-
I pour beer on
Only
people.
Maxwell's parents.
Yeah, only.
Let me just add on. So I was on the Crimson Line when
Thank
it
you.
was first incepted. And we traveled down to Provo for a football game. And of course, it was late November, quite cold. And with the Crimson Line, they made a very deliberate choice in our costumes there was a lot of coverage there. So we basically looked like figure skaters. But the BYU student section threw cold tortillas at us like frisbees, and I gotta tell you, that freaking hurt. That hurt.
Cold tortillas.
That's better than the pennies they were throwing the last time I was
Yeah.
in the stadium. Well, I'm sorry for that.
Hey, no, it's all good. Toughen me up.
Sounds up to par.
I got a stump question here. When was the last time Utah won at Autzen, and what happened?
We lost in 09 when I was there.
Wasn't the last victory up there the shellacking?
Yeah, the last time we won.
2015.
Yeah.
The shellacking.
Baby giraffe.
Lacking.
Baby
Yes.
giraffe. Travis Wilson.
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
Booker
that's
threw a
it.
touchdown.
If
Covey.
we're wrong,
Right
we'll
in
get a
Covey.
passive aggressive comment on YouTube about it.
Sure.
But
Everybody loves to tell you you're
Our
wrong.
punter hit the wire with the.
That's
the
right.
football. Like
Really?
Tom
everything that
Hackett.
could go crazy
Really?
in that game happened.
I remember
we won.
Booker throwing one to Covey for a touchdown, trick play.
That, Yep.
And was that the fake, the punt return?
that was the
Yes.
on
Were
the
they both-
different sides of the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
We put 60 points. We hung 60 points, 62 points on those guys. You know, that's a memorable game against Oregon. Does anyone remember? How would I word this?
Very carefully, Andy, please.
Yeah, very, very carefully. Thank you. 2003. I guess this isn't a stump question, but Utah played Oregon here up at Rice Eccles, and Oregon was ranked. I remember that game pretty well. And
Joey Harrington?
I,
Is he the QB?
No, that was
No?
closer to my age.
yeah.
Really?
No.
Tim was in the 90s.
So as long as Oregon's coming down the pike here this next week, we might as well talk about some memorable games. That was a big game. Oregon was ranked. We barely beat them. It was Urban Meyer's first year.
Was it Alex Smith?
Yep, Alex Smith.
Okay.
Yep, he was. Alex Smith was still an unknown.
Yeah.
You know, when they really needed
For people
to win that
listening, I was 13.
game. Yeah. Me too. When I was watching the game.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you where Utah was.
First Utah win in Autzen.
Oh, I think you might know this.
You should know it,
Were you?
Leslie.
The first win in Autzen?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
94.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it had to be the McBride years.
It was 94. Second game of the year. We went up there. They had the nasty yellow with the Donald Duck helmets on.
Oh, those are
Yeah.
cool.
They had the dual colored green on their field
Yeah,
every
yeah.
10
Oh,
yards. It was a
that's
different
right,
color,
yep.
Which I thought was the coolest thing running out on the field then. But yes, we put a shellacking on them in Autzen.
No, they came to Rice Stadium
The next year, we played Oregon and Stanford back to back in Rice to open.
Yeah.
And they beat us down here barely that year.
Yeah.
But that was the first victory in Autzen by the Utes was 94. Mike McCoy, Kareem Leary had a pick six. Juan Johnson had a great game on the ground.
Yep.
Kevin Dyson had a couple of receptions as a redshirt freshman that year. That was the first game in 94 because we beat Utah State up there, but beating Oregon on the road, everyone was like, there's something special.
Yeah, for real. We're definitely for real. Well, cool. Well, Leslie, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Seriously,
Thank you.
it's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Absolute my
Cal,
pleasure.
thanks for coming on. Jordan, thanks for coming on.
Make
Thanks
sure you
for
order a
having- thank
coffee.
you for not yelling at
Order a
us.
coffee next Saturday at 7 p.m. to watch the game. Thanks a lot, Pac-12.
Go Utes.
30
So,
Get your coffee
Hey.
from Public Ads.
hey, you fans, thanks for watching The Extra Point, brought to you by Public Coffee and presented by UFans.net. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and iHeartRadio, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go Utes.
Go
Great day
Utes.
to be a Ute.
With a one turnover, but we'll reshoot.
We'll reshoot.
You're good.
Tavion Thomas.
Come on in now. No, you're good.
Come on in.
Good morning. I'm Cal. Nice to meet you. Cal? Yeah.